The future is unwritten, and we are all dark horses. But once the alarm rings, we're all just workhorses grinding away. The city has its corporate grunts, while the mountains have their own rustic laborers. This world is just one giant pasture, and no one escapes this fate. Old Qian, the shepherd, lives by this iron rule. He leads his 2 sons and 3 donkeys deep into the mountains to gather the dried forage. Dragging hundreds of pounds of hay across the steep valleys is a mandatory summer chore to stockpile for the long winter. A new day dawns over the Zagros Mountains in Iran, and the mountain's original workforce begins their shift. Early in the morning, brothers Vasi and little Saman slip out of the house to rent some donkeys. A few days ago, old Qian and a group of local men harvested plenty of winter hay at the mountain peak. Left out in the sun and wind, the forage should be fully dried by now, so old Qian is ready to haul it home today. The rented donkeys are packed to the brim. Saddlebags are loaded with tools, lunch rations, and life-saving water. With everything packed, father and son lead the donkeys out, hiking toward the rolling mountains across the road. This morning, Vasi also called on Amina's 2 brothers, his brothers-in-law, to come help out. Since it was still early, the brothers-in-law were eating breakfast and would join them on the mountain later, so old Qian and Vasi headed out first. The wild cherries in the Zagros Mountains are sparse this year. The harvest in this semi-arid region clearly won't match last year's. The trees rely entirely on melting snow. Strong winds, late spring chills, or lacking water during blooming easily damages the buds and plummets the yield. With these factors combined, this year's wild cherry crop seems to have dropped by more than half. On the way up, Vasi talked to old Qian about their helpers. Earlier, his second brother-in-law, Mohammed, readily agreed to join them today. The oldest, Milad, had to tend to his herd, so he couldn't make it. Old Qian completely understood, knowing that nomad families must prioritize their own livelihood before helping others. Reaching the summit, they found their previously stacked hay scattered by the mountain wind, so old Qian quickly bent down to carefully gather it. Forage in these mountains has always been scarce. Every bundle was painstakingly cut by hand, and old Qian refuses to waste a single blade. Reaching a flat patch of land, the father and son unloaded the heavy saddlebags from the donkeys. Just as they settled in, they turned around to see Mohammed closely trailing behind, cresting the hilltop. They laid out 2 large plastic tarps on the ground, gathering the sun-dried hay and piling it up. Walking back and forth is too exhausting, so they use a clever trick, securely tying the corners of an old bedsheet to create a massive, wearable sack for the hay. This method makes collecting distant forage much easier, drastically cutting down their trips across the mountain. When midday strikes, old Qian serves up lunch for his 2 hard workers: homemade yogurt, watermelon, pickles, and raw onions. Amina's siblings look so incredibly alike they could be twins. Vasi joked that if they wore the same headscarf, he might mix them up in the dark. The locals eat heartily, enjoying fruit as a refreshing appetizer rather than dessert, paired nicely with dry flatbread. After a satisfying meal, everyone pours a cup of hot black tea. In the arid, windy climate of the Zagros Mountains, this tea is essential for rehydration. Fully refreshed, the crew gets straight back to work. For this short distance, carrying the hay downhill themselves is actually faster than using the donkeys. Loading and unloading the animals takes too long. They figured they could make 2 trips on foot in the same amount of time, making manual labor much more efficient. Once the tarps are piled high with hay, old Qian tethers the 3 donkeys together and drives them in circles to trample the pile. The forage contains stiff stalks that sheep struggle to chew. The donkeys' heavy hooves break apart the hard stems, leaving only the fine, soft hay. While old Qian guides the donkeys to continuously crush the pile, Vasi and Mohammed make endless trips across the mountain to bring back more forage. Old Qian packs the newly softened hay into saddlebags, preparing them for the donkeys to haul back down the mountain. The bags are stuffed completely solid, then topped with a piece of cloth to create a simple yet effective seal. The sun is setting, but they won't finish today. Despite speeding up their pace, the immense workload has finally caught up with them. Old Qian, handling the hay crushing, still has some energy left. However, Vasi and Mohammed are utterly exhausted from their relentless hauling. Even dried, each massive bundle weighs nearly 100 pounds. Trekking back and forth on these rugged trails turns their legs to lead, completely draining their stamina. As the golden sunset fades, old Qian calls it a day. Heading down before dark is a strict mountain rule, so the remaining forage will just have to wait until tomorrow.